So many of us just accept brain fog as a normal part of getting older. But what if it's not? What if there's a hidden cause, something we can actually do something about? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to uncover. Okay, let's just start with something we've all done. You walk into a room, you stop, and you have absolutely no idea why you're there. It's infuriating, right? But listen, that's not just some random brain glitch. It's a clue. It's a signal that points to a very specific chemical reaction happening in your head. And we're going to solve that mystery right now. To really get what's going on, you need to meet the main characters in this story. There's a hero, and yeah, there's a villain. All right, first up, let's meet our hero. It's a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Now think of this stuff as the electricity for your brain. Every single time you form a memory, or pull up a name from way back, or even just focus on what I'm saying right now, that's acetylcholine making the connection happen. Without enough of it, it's like the lights in your brain just start to flicker and dim. And then you've got the other character, an enzyme with a mouthful of a name, acetylcholinesterase. Now, its job is actually super important. It's the cleanup crew. See, after acetylcholine delivers its message, this enzyme swoops in and breaks it down. This keeps the lines clear for the next signal. In a healthy brain, this is a perfectly balanced dance. So, if the system is designed to work so well, what goes wrong? Well, the problem kicks in when that delicate balance gets thrown way out of whack. And unfortunately, this happens to more and more of us as we get older. And here's the absolute heart of the problem. As we age, that cleanup crew, it starts working overtime. It gets way too aggressive, and it starts breaking down our precious memory chemical way too fast, sometimes before it's even done its job. And that leaves us in a constant shortage of acetylcholine, right when we need it the most. And the scale of this, it's just staggering. Some research shows that this overactive enzyme can slash the amount of available memory chemical by up to 46%. Just think about that. That's almost half of your ability to remember and focus, just gone. All because an enzyme is a little too good at its job. But here's the really good news. This is not a done deal. You're not doomed. See, years ago, drug companies figured out how to block this enzyme. But what a lot of people don't know is that nature figured it out a long, long time ago, and it's given us a natural shield for our brains. The solution is actually beautiful in its simplicity. You just have to block the overactive enzyme. That's exactly what drugs for conditions like Alzheimer's are designed to do. They're called acetylcholinesterase inhibitors. But get this. It turns out some very common plants and herbs do the exact same thing naturally. And some of them are incredibly powerful. And our first champion is probably sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. Rosemary. Seriously. And this isn't just some old folktale. The connection between rosemary and memory has been known for centuries. I mean, this connection is not new. Even Shakespeare was onto it. In Hamlet, Ophelia says there's rosemary, that's for remembrance. For hundreds of years, people knew there was a link. They just didn't know the science behind why. Well, now we do. We know exactly how it works. Rosemary is loaded with compounds like rosmarinic and carnosic acid, and these are powerful, natural blockers of that memory-destroying enzyme. But here is the wildest part. You don't even have to eat it. Studies have shown that just smelling the aroma of rosemary essential oil can actually improve memory because the active compounds can get into your bloodstream right through your nose. How cool is that? Okay, as amazing as rosemary is, our next champion is even more of a heavy hitter. It's another common herb, sage. The ancient Romans actually called it the sacred herb, and when you see what it does for memory, you understand why. The power of sage is just remarkable. Scientific studies have confirmed it is one of the most potent natural enzyme inhibitors we know of. In fact, one study found it could block that breakdown by up to, you guessed it, 46%. Human trials back this up, showing people get way better at recalling words. And on top of all that, its antioxidant properties add another layer of protection for your brain cells. So we have the problem, and we have some amazing natural solutions. But how do we actually put this into action in our real lives? Well, that brings us to our final section, the brain protection plan. This is it, your simple, actionable plan. First, start getting rosemary and sage into your life every single day. Cook with the fresh herbs, make teas, or use high-quality essential oils in a diffuser. Second, you have to be consistent. This isn't a one-time fix. The benefits build over time, so you need to give it at least 8 to 12 weeks to really let it work. And finally, step 3 is absolutely critical. You have to stop pouring fuel on the fire. That means cutting out the ultra-processed sugars and junk foods that are known to cause brain inflammation. They work directly against everything you're trying to do. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. We're always looking for some complicated, expensive, high-tech solution for our health. But when it comes to protecting something as vital as our own mind, our memory, what if the key isn't in some fancy lab at all? What if it's been sitting right there in our kitchens this whole time?